Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miyoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? A little aside. Okay. How are you? Oh, I already see some of you here. Lots of comments though. Cool. I'm earlier. Go ahead, Kalebi. Thanks. Thank you so much for coming as usual. And Oche Yamaguchi and Napoleon is here. Like, yeah, okay. Donald Trump 2024. Mentioning golf was totally legit. The media is always and constantly attacking Trump as being unfit, and see, he simply said he's still he's still good at golf. Biden went off the rails with it. uh, yeah, that's so true. Yeah, the golf part was the hottest moment of the debate. Other than that, I don't think that they were actually debating. They were just giving a small presentation to each other, or I mean to the public, and they were not really engaging in a debate, I guess. I saw the I saw how leftists are panicking. I saw lots of things. The New York Times article. I didn't get to read it, but I've heard about it, and also I saw the cover of Time, the magazine Time, and it's like panic, and Biden is leaving, like off the cover. So that was a good design. Yeah. And somebody compared the two covers, in the past and today, the panic version and the other one that I saw was the earlier version, and it was the same Time magazine, and the cover had Biden, and it said, if he wait, if he wins, right? If he wins, and that was a cover. And as a contrast, there was the recent version. If he wins, panic. So it was a good comparison, and I feel like it's also a story, like a short story. If he wins, there's gonna everybody is gonna panic. Yeah, it's such a weird time to be living in this time. I feel it was the most. I feel like it's one of the most interesting debates in the U.S. history. Yes, the majority of the things that that are on my mind are the same as what I talked about in my last stream 2 days ago or so, right after the debate. And yeah, and what's interesting to see was, yeah, CNN, uh, right after the debate, they're panicking, and they don't trust Biden, that he can go on. And I already see the list of possible candidates to replace Biden, but at the same time, I hear that there's not enough time, and yeah, like the struggle that I see of the left is that Biden is picked right in each state. Like there was the election, and he got the seat, and like he can't just simply replace uh, his place, right? So I don't know how it works in America, but at least like it's like I'm like literally like, is it possible to do that? Like considering the time and everything. Maybe they should have added before this time, or I mean, like when everything was starting, they should have added the rule in their party that, if the candidate's health is dramatically declining, then, that's the exception to replace the candidate. Like, let's say if Biden, asks somebody like Kamala Harris, for example, to replace him, then she'll be the candidate or some sort. You know what I mean? Like, they should have thought of stuff like that. And I was watching Fox News roughly while getting ready, and like I saw this possible Biden replacement, and I already see lots of faces: Kamala Harris, Whitmer, Newsom, and so on. Michelle Obama is in it too. Yeah. So it's an interesting time, I feel. Oh yeah. Slate. Biden must drop out. Here's how Democrats could replace him on the ticket. Fox News. Oh wait. Fox News. And then another political. Here's how Democrats could replace Biden. So they are talking about how to replace him. I haven't watched anything yet. I mean, looked into like the how. So I don't know, but it's hot here. Huh. I'm feeling weird because like last night it was very chilly, so was the morning, and now after the shower I feel hot in this room, so like my body temperature can't adjust. So, but anyway, thank you so much for so many comments. Gary says, "Hey Yoko, hello, thank you so much for coming. Probably they should play golf on live TV." that could I that would be a interesting way to pick your president to because that's what we Japanese do on our TV. Like, we have guests together to make them experience something together and to see what happens and so on. It could be one of those. Uh, Donnie girl, aloha Hawaii. Checking in. Cool. Thank you so much for coming. As always, thank you. Thank you. It didn't really seem like a debate. Trump really pounded him really bad. Yeah, like everybody has to admit it, right? Even the leftists, they know that Trump won. And yeah, but the thing is that the leftists should have known that it was gonna happen, right? The Biden didn't age all of a sudden. Like he was aging, and his recognition, like his health state was something that we've been talking about for a while, and but still they picked him, so that's on them. Hmm. Oh, Johnny's here. Hey, no, no debate, but a golf match. Yeah, that would be the most viewed golf match ever on Earth. Yeah. Napoleon says, "You're all American, no fellow Europeans." Yeah, the majority of my viewers are Americans. There are sometimes there's the French man, Tony, I think. He was coming to this stream. I haven't seen him in a while. Uh, but anyway, about that though, it's been only a few days, and it's Sunday here. The only coverage that I see is this. Again, talking about the same thing. This is Yomiuri Shimbun in Japan. Can you see? Biden withdraw. Yeah, withdraw. He's denying it. Concerns spreading about his age, like being old. And you can see Biden here. Man, was it the next day or so that Biden had a gathering or something, and he was like barking, right? Somebody wrote on X saying that, oh, the drugs finally kicked in. And I couldn't help myself but laughing. Oh, that's it. Yeah. So yeah, this is just pointing out the same thing as I just said, that among the Democrats now they are discussing, the opinion about replacing Biden with somebody else is increased. Like it looks like it's gonna increase. And North Carolina, right. So Biden said that he knows that he's no longer young. Oh, he tweeted this, I think. I saw this on X, that he's no longer, like he can't walk as easily as before or can't smoothly talk and blah blah blah. And I'm like, if his team had done this earlier than the debate, then that wouldn't have worked. But after the debate, it's not gonna work. Yeah. So, but that's about it. We don't see much. Yeah. I'm more rather interested in this topic, the self-defense force. They're talking about the self-defense force here because it's been 7 decades after self-defense forces got established. And the leftists here have hated self-defense forces because they are traumatized by war guilt. So, but anyway. Whew. Okay, let's see. Hawaii is nice but expensive. Depends where you go regarding the homeless. Yeah, like Japanese people often, travel to Hawaii because it's closer compared to going to America, the mainland. And for weddings too, the Japanese people go to always, when somehow girls here want to get married in a church. They're not Christian, but they love the Hollywood movies and so on, and they have this fantasy about getting married in a church. So they've never met God, but they just go to church and get married. But anyway, including that, like Japanese people go to Hawaii to visit, but yeah, it's expensive, especially coming from going from here. And so I've seen on the news that people take waters and food with them from Japan so that they don't have to pay for for meals much. But anyway, what do you guys think about Biden? Do you think that he's gonna get replaced, or do you think that he's gonna carry on? But either way, I don't think that Biden would allow it. You need his consensus, right? So, and I don't think that he would do that. And another interesting that I see on X is that I think it was Jacques Posobiec posted some picture of Jill Biden, and I think it says she was prepping for G7. So prepping for G7, and he was like, "Oh, like that explains," or something like that. But yeah, like Jill Biden's presence is something that is interesting. That she knows how bad of a condition Biden is in. Like Biden's condition is really bad, and Jill, as his wife, knows it, and she is supporting him. I don't know if it's a good thing as a wife. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, at least from seeing from another country, what the left or Jill is doing is elderly abuse. Like Biden, he can't make judgments anymore. He might still have himself, but other times, like I know that I can tell that, like if you look back in the debate footage, like sometimes like Biden is staring into the space, right? Like somewhere that like he's freezing and stopping, right? And then next, like after a few seconds or seconds later, he's like, and it comes back and does the rest. And what I imagine is happening to him is that to him it's probably like 1 second or one moment, the period of time that he's freezing, and he just doesn't recognize it anymore. And I feel bad for him, and it's really his surroundings are not doing a good thing for him as a person, like abusing him, I feel. So, and I'm talking like Yoda, reversing the grammar. Happens in Japanese because in Japanese, the order is totally different, like totally the opposite. When I speak in Japanese, I say this and that, I think. So it's it's always at the last, I think or I feel or something like that. Like it's at the end, in Japanese. So I have to use my brain so much when I speak in English. Anyway, Nikki Haley claimed she wouldn't drop out either. Huh? Did I? Oh yeah. I don't. I don't think that she would be Trump's running mate though. There was some information that I forget what, but I remember that Trump wouldn't. I remember thinking that Trump will not pick somebody that is neocon, based on whatever I read in Japanese though. Like the article by an expert here, and yeah, that's interesting. But I don't know. In my opinion, Nikki Haley would make a good vice president, though, for Trump. I really would want that because by that, like, he can get many votes, including independents and so on. And the world would have more trust in Trump administration if he picks Nikki Haley, because the world is not America. So we want interaction, or what do you say, like interference in the world. We actually want America's interference in the world, because it's a continuation of the past. If the world is starting now, then I'm like, America first, okay, like do it, please, enjoy, right? But we are living on the consequences of the past, and the past to the present is the result of the interference of America, and you can't just drop us. But regarding that, I was actually relieved to read this. Like this happens sometimes, that Trump's aides come to Japan and explains what's going on to the newspaper or the politicians here, and to show that we can trust Trump administration. That meaning that Trump administration will not change compared to the past. That they have they will have the same policies, especially regarding national security, because it's the most important topic in East Asia right now, as the threat of China is growing. And there's this article here. It says that former government official of the U.S. met with our politician here that is in charge of national security, and basically talking about this guy is Fred Flights or Flights, can't tell. Fred, is it? How do I spell? Hey, わからん. I'm gonna type in Japanese. Wait, you can't. There's no here. Oh my gosh. But you know who, I bet. And so basically it's talking about that if Trump wins again, in that scenario, even in that scenario, Japan, America, and South Korea, the three countries will keep the close cooperation. So that's good. And he also said to Reuters, yeah, Trump recognizes the necessity to cooperate with allies closely and to strengthen the alliance. So that's good. That's really good. Even though it's a small article in our newspaper, it's a good news. So Just checking the front page, nothing much. Yep. Let's see. Let's read the comments. Another unique thing about this election is neither Biden nor Trump drink alcohol. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. They have different reasons in their family history, but they still don't drink. Yeah. That's an interesting aspect. just on a personal level, but interesting. Comments. If you give me super chat, your comments will be prioritized. I believe the state is trying to buy land too. What does that mean? Speaking of which, Chinese people are, they don't trust their own government anymore. And some of them are buying our temples, it seems. It's easier to get naturalized and so on if you're a monk, I guess. I haven't really, I read it, but I don't really remember. But something like that. I love Nikki Haley, but I don't think it's possible. Oh no, Nikki Haley would be a terrible baby pig. Such an American way of seeing that. Yeah, because the thing is, yes, that would be a horrible pick for patriots or conservatives in the U.S. If Trump picks Nikki Haley, but you're actually the minority. Republicans consists of lots of different people, and you're only one person. Even though over the I don't know, recently, I feel that Trump's power is increasing among the Republican Party, but still it's divided. And on the top of that, so that's only inside the Republican Party. And if you consider the whole America, there are independent people, moderate left, extreme left, and anti-America people. And so it's huge. And together with that, that's a domestic politics for Americans. And you have to think about what the world thinks about the US. So my Ukrainian friend, for example, that is very influential in Japan, he's very, very fluent in Japanese, and he's very, very smart. And he has written many books in Japanese, and he appears in our newspaper, and also just our what you call we make lots of speeches, right, about politics, and he has a big presence as a Ukrainian guy. But he is very critical when it comes to Trump, because he's a Ukrainian guy, so of course, he wants support from the U.S. But he would prefer Nikki Haley and neocon type, and that's actually the standard of many, friendly nations or alliance nations, including Japan, So that's something to keep in mind. I'm not saying that you should like Nikki Haley or anything, but in politics, you have to understand where you stand and what other people are thinking. So that's just my opinion that, that by her, you can create diversity atmosphere. She's got Indian blood, she's female, and also she's a neocon, very much different from Trump. And then the leftists can't say much against her. So, I'm going to type in Japanese. I don't know why that made me laugh. Really? Yeah, whenever I Google, I often just write in English, but I search in both languages to be sure. Let's see. Uh, 117 Rebel, how's it going, Yoko? How's it going? I'm doing okay. I'm a little, I don't know, down. It's really cloudy and it's like bring me down, but you are here. So you guys are here and making my day. So thank you so much. How's the immigration issue in Japan, Yoko? Nothing different. It's always like unless there is some kind of move in the national diet, meaning like our Congress, nothing happens. The Japanese people, we have the same recognition for the society always, and especially now that we have X, people are very, very vocal. Japanese people used to be quiet. We are quiet in public, like in real life. We don't want to cause any trouble with each other. We lie to each other to maintain the peace. But when it comes to, but when we come to the social media, when we, instead of the reality, when we go to cyberspace, we are savage. We are very atrocious. We can be atrocious. Yes, and so we tear each other down, and we are very vocal about foreigners in Japan. Very vocal on X. So I'm not worried about immigrant issues as long as the media tells us tells us that there are problems. The Kurdish problem, for example, I know that it's gonna shrink over time because now they can't apply their for their right to stay here anymore because they were abusing our system, claiming that there are refugees, but our government will not allow it because we know that they just want to live here, just like other foreigners. So they can only apply for 3 times, and if that's gonna end. Good morning, Yoko. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming. I'm fairly certain not liking Nikki Haley in the Republican Party is not the minority. Her primary stunk. Huh? I'm very certain not liking Nikki Haley in the Republican is not the minority. Everybody hates Nikki Haley in the Republican Party, but she did have support though. So didn't she beat Ron DeSantis? Japanese keyboard warriors. Yeah. Man, there are not much news that I find. The debate, though, was our top news when the debate occurred. And the news has been kind of quiet recently. Over here, let's see. This is from Friday. Let's see the international part. It's about Islamic State 10 years since the establishment. And also, they're talking about the election in the UK. Snuck is gonna probably lose and so on. And EU and Ukraine signing on national security treaty. Oh, America and Philippines GSOMIA, they are signing on that. Cool. Yeah, Philippines. Oh, did you hear about is it a mayor in Philippines? Let me look it up. Let's see. Yeah, Philippines. Mayor accused of being China asset raises alarm. Philippine Mayor Alice Guo faces call for removal over questions on citizenship. So basically, she's Chinese, the new mayor in Philippines, and she's actually Chinese. That is so horrible. And I heard about it from a friend, a gamer friend in Philippines, and he had told me about it, and I wasn't really paying attention, but I realized that it's a huge deal. Of course, it's a huge deal, but I was busy playing games. So. Speaking of China, on our newspaper today, this is something that I tweeted earlier with a picture. Where was it? It was about Myanmar. Where is it? Is this today's? Where did it go? Cute. Here it is. There is a big Myanmar. But the poison that is, what's the word? Like poisoning Myanmar. And they are talking about, how conflicts are going on between those that want democracy and the military and like ethnic groups and so on. And like they've got domestic issues, right, in Myanmar. And for that, it actually becomes their like a source of their money to keep going on in the fights. But Chinese companies or I would say companies. Chinese people are drilling, to find rare earth. How do you say in English? Yeah, rare earth. Just how it is. Yeah, rare earth. They're drilling for that. And they don't care about the environment. That's how Chinese do. They do the same thing in southern Mongolia, for example. When you picture Mongolia, it's a beautiful grass, right? It's all green and beautiful, and horses are running around, and Mongolians are riding on the horse, and it's a beautiful scene, right? But in the southern part, where China is colonizing, they are not only oppressing the people, they are drilling the ground. And so they are losing the beautiful scenery, and also it's really affecting the food chain, and also the desert part is spreading. Same thing in Myanmar. Like Chinese people don't care about the environment, and they just dig and dig and dig. And because of that, there are lots of chemicals that are spreading in the area of Myanmar. And so basically like it's poisoning. The action that Chinese people are doing in Myanmar is poisoning. Because of this, though, I think that this goes to China first, and then the money comes. Where was it? Let me see how it works. So right now it's like such an illegal situation, and they're digging, and it's 4 times more than before. And so the income of rare earth is what's supporting the resources for the war. So Myanmar made rare earth, it's it's what's the word? Like they are sent to China and they make it into a product, and then it's used for their parts for EV, electric vehicle. Oh, it's used for EV. And yeah, so it's a business, and so it's such a bad cycle. They are having this struggles inside, and the Chinese people coming and to help them with their money, but at the same time destroys the environment. And then so the war keeps going on, and the local people are affected by the poisons. Like it's in a vicious cycle, you know. So something like that. China is such a problem. Like in every problem in the world, there's China. Seriously, no exaggeration. Often, like anti-America people says the same about America, but China is clearly the problem, destroying the environment too. So I really hope that, especially leftists are very passionate about environmental issues. So I really hope that, in addition to human rights issues, I hope that leftists will work on environmental issues more in this way. That China is destroying the earth. So I really hope that they will be more passionate about issues caused by China, and I will be happy to join them when it comes to that. Hmm. Let's see. Tulsi? What about Tulsi? Oh, speaking of X, somebody, did I tell you about this? Somebody posted the pictures of those gubernatorial election candidates, and somebody is like, taking off her clothes. Like it looks like she's not naked, but it looks like she's getting naked. And so somebody posted a picture, and I saw I left a comment in the reply section, and then it's seen more than like over 2 million views. So yeah, it's crazy. Nobody has seen my post. Like there was no time before than that my thing, whatever I post, is viewed that much. The song that I made about the issue between Japan and South Korea, I made it into a song. So it's a song and available on YouTube, and it maybe it has a million view by now. Nearly, probably nearly 1 million, but probably not yet. So yeah, that's the first time ever to be seen. Hmm. Hmm. Do you have Discord or anything like that for people to join? No, I don't. I don't know much about tech. Like what do I do on Discord? To like open chat? Like am I supposed to join in the chat? I'm such a lazy person, so this is what I do to bring you together. But if you want to chat with the same people, then I guess that I could open like what's that? YouTube membership. Yeah, I haven't used YouTube membership, but if maybe it could be like $3 or something too, and I can give you the link to Discord. Maybe does that work? I could do that. But I'm not familiar with how to use Discord, so I might make mistakes though. Oh, you were talking about Tulsi. I see. I see. Nikki is awful. 100%. Tulsi is questionable. Interesting. North of Myanmar, China also has casinos with forced labor. Same with so-called go-go's, GOs in PH. Wow, yeah, casino is a new problem with them. I think they have that in Cambodia. Was it casino or wasn't it? Or I don't know. I don't know. Cambodia. Yeah. I think that there's casino in Cambodia too. Yeah, the second Macau, Cambodia, Sihanouk building. Man, like lots of China's puppets governments in the world, especially in Asia. And it's interesting that whenever you guys talk about immigrants, you always talk about like African people or Muslim people, but the immigrants to Japanese people, when we pick what we picture is Chinese. First of all, like out of everything, it's always the Chinese. And then recently we are having issues with Vietnam people. There are lots of people from Vietnam now, more than Chinese people, it seems. And yeah, and they commit crimes too. Of course, if there are more people, then there are more crime cases. But yeah, less Korean people though, I feel. Hmm. But yeah, so we have immigrants from other Asian countries, so we don't think about like the immigrants that you think of. So like always, like even though we are talking about the same thing, we are talking about different things. Mm. So that's what happens in communicating internationally. So like it's a projection, like I have the same problem when I talk about the world, like when I think about America or Europe, I realize that people don't care much about North Korea and China as much as I do. China is people are shifting their uh I don't know, like a perspective now, thanks to Trump administration. uh, but still, like it's different for you. For example, like when I think negatively about North Korea and Russia, you guys are probably thinking, in the meantime, you are thinking about Iran, for example. Japanese people don't think about Iran. We don't think about Iran because it's different. Mm. And often the questions that I get from Americans or sometimes Europeans, I guess, but majority is Americans. But people ask me why, or is it true that Japanese people support Ukraine? And I always have to say, yes, the majority support Ukraine because Russia has been our enemy all along. We fought the war in early 1900. We won. And then the World War II, they were our enemy. Our women were raped. Our soldiers were sent to Siberia and tortured. Many died. They became slaves illegally. And also Soviet Union, they came to our northern parts. They took our so-called northern territories. They were coming to the south and people had to fight even though we had already signed the treaty that we were ending the war. So Russia is such a, even though it's Putin now and the country's name has changed, it's the same Russia that we've been always fighting against. And Jewish people and Ukrainian people, we're in this together, we're always fighting. uh yeah, like, yeah, because Jewish people were they were prosecuted, like they, yeah, you know how Russia back in the day didn't like Jewish people, and so Japan was fighting against Russia. So some rich people, the Jewish people, gave us money so that we could fight against them and won. We gotta make that again. Second time, second round, we have to win again. Hmm. Rockwell, hey, you logged in late. Let's see. Yes, probably also in Cambodia. North Korea even had illegal casinos in their embassies in the past. Wow. Sunak was the last king who was in exile in North Korea. Sihanouk. Okay. They're taking over Shin Okubo. Shin Okubo, yeah. Koreans, right? Yeah. It's like Tokyo is such Tokyo or those areas around Tokyo. It's a chaotic place. Tokyo is the center of Japan. It is so overpopulated. Like there are lots of the population is too big. It's too dense and everything, even the power, but also the people. Tokyo has 1/10 of the population of the entire Japan. It's like 10% of the whole Japanese people are there. Such a I don't know. There are too many people. And what happens is that often too that there are lots of job opportunities. So people move to Tokyo, and others they leave Tokyo after they're done with their job and so on. So lots of like in and out going on. And so what that means is that they're not very it's different from, for example, Texas. Look at Texas, for example. I've never been there, but I imagine that you know each other in locally, and people love your homeland. Like you're attached to your where you come from. But Tokyo people are different, so it doesn't really reflect uh, Tokyo historically or traditionally. It's just people that just come to Tokyo and leave and so on, and they have this weird culture seen by another, somebody that's in another prefecture. But and because of that, there are lots of foreigners as well. The last time that I checked, I saw the news that 10% of those who are in the 20s are foreigners. Doesn't happen like that in other areas of Japan. It's only in Tokyo that is that crazy. Maybe in Osaka too, but yeah, in the big cities, things are very confusing and chaotic. But that doesn't reflect the entire Japan, so it's hard to see. But in Yokohama, I believe there's Chinatown, and there's this Chinese place in Nagasaki Prefecture as well. Like they have but it's a traditional thing. I think that they are influenced by China so much traditionally. Yeah, but Koreans, yeah, Shin Okubo in Tokyo, there are lots of Koreans. Yep, 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 yep. It's interesting though. Like I'm not against cultures though. Like I enjoy and embrace other cultures because that's how Japan expanded, culturally and technology wise. We are open and we are tolerant to other cultures, and we just swallow what's good to take. So, but if it becomes like if they ignore the sovereignty of Japan, then that's a problem. But mm, compared to other like Kurdish people, for example, they ignore some, not all of them. There are good people as well, but there are lots of problematic Kurdish people now. Um yeah, and what we are realizing is that Koreans, we had issues with Koreans, but we are like realizing that we were actually complaining about minor details because they look like us and they actually respect most of our rules. The only problem that we have with them is the recognition about history and so on. Like, who cares, right? Like they are entitled to their own, values as a Korean. It only becomes a problem if they talk about our society even though they don't have our nationality. So there are problems like that, but it's very minor compared to other issues with other kinds of races. Hmm. So very interesting. Hmm. Oh yeah, crowded is a good word to describe Tokyo. Yes. Many rich Chinese go to Japan. Yes. Not only that, they buy our lands, but we changed our laws, like made it better. So hopefully it's not happening like it used to. I don't know. Like I need an update on that, but yeah. Chinese people, like I said, like drilling in southern Mongolia or now Myanmar, like they don't care about the environment. Why? Because they love money. They love the social status. Like, when you talk to Chinese people, I hear that you are never, like, you should never, uh, hurt their ego. Like, don't do that, because they're gonna backfire like so crazy. It's about their status and their face. You have to keep their face, so it's difficult. But yeah, the Chinese people love money. I don't know why they are so passionate, so they don't really care about the rules. And when it comes to frauds, for example, Japanese people now are having issues with lots of my husband is opening an egg package by Chinese people, and sometimes they are, they have the scheme to steal money, and I hear that in China, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that in Chinese culture, it's like it's the fault of those who get deceived, in that sort of schemes or whatever. And that it's not the criminals, but like you are supposed to have that literacy to not to be fooled or deceived. But in Japan, it's different. Like, oh, you shouldn't do bad things. Mm. Anyway, no super chat today. I've been rambling for like an hour. Is this not entertaining enough for you? Not informative enough for you? Hmm. We are still getting a lot of Chinese migrants here in Hawaii. Wow. Vietnamese immigrants in Germany do quite well. Oh, cool. The problem that we have with like people from other Asian countries, aside from China, Chinese and Koreans don't do this. I think it's like Vietnam. I think it's Vietnamese people, but they sometimes steal our farmer products. That are on our field. People or have like farmers have all the products, right? They steal that, or they have animals, right? Like raising their animals, and they kill them and steal them. It happens sometimes, and eat them or sell them. So that's a new thing. Donnie girl, thank you so much for super chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. Aloha Yoko, thank you. Thank you. Aloha. Maya, I right after I graduated from university, the economy was bad and I didn't really feel like working too. So like I did have a job decided in Osaka, but I didn't want to work there. And then they had bankruptcy, so I came back here in Fukuoka and I started working in this mall. And I was at the information center of the mall. And my boss at that time, a female, somehow changed her job, and later she learned hula. Aloha way. Like she does, like she looks like, I don't know. She looks Japanese, but she's doing it like in such a Hawaiian way. Like I don't know how she does the hip, but she dances well, and she has her own class now. Just reminded me somehow. Uh, yeah. Thank you so much. Yay. Yoko-san, just don't be too tolerant towards other cultures. Look what happened to the UK. Being tolerant and being lawless are totally different things. And I don't know why. It's the same for Democrats, you know? The being open and being lawless are different things. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. I guess it's hard to imagine how we are. We just enjoy everything that we can enjoy, but we are actually, it's in our education or tradition. I don't know what it is, but we are so strict about rules and laws. And so whenever somebody, and it's not easy to follow rules, right? So we are always stressed out because we're such good people. We decide to be good people, right? And it's hard. So whenever somebody is breaking the rule or law or, making it easy, just minding their own business, then we are like, why? And then massively attack the person, like, why? What do you think you are? We tear them down. So what happens often is that nowadays it's becoming a kind of like a movement, that women on trains. I don't agree with some women, but they claim that they get touched or harassed on train for being women, And so what happens is that they record the people, the man, like, oh, this guy touched my thing or whatever, or he comes right next to my seat wherever I go in the train car or whatever, and film, put it on X, and then the internet people, they search who the person is, where they live, where they live, what kind of company they run or work for, and what kind of family they have. They're like the police. In North Korea, for example, you have to report each other, right? Japanese people, we don't need such like forcement. We just do it naturally. we we look into each other's backgrounds, share it on X, and yeah. And sometimes police notice, and yeah, things go well, but that's how we are. So same for problems that are caused by foreigners. Whenever foreigners do stupid things, foreigners in general, like those who that are living in Japan, for long, they usually have accustomed to Japanese lifestyle. But there are tourist type of people and so on that cause troubles. And when that happens, Japanese people, seriously, like it happened recently too, that some foreigner, I think it was a white person, was just like vandalizing our shrine, and somebody said like, oh, you shouldn't do that, Japanese person said that, but he wouldn't listen. And then the internet people saw that footage because the person recorded it and looked into the backgrounds and found out where he lives and what kind of company he runs. And there is you can use Google Map now, so you can see the view, right, of the address of the company that he runs. And it turns out that it's a small apartment and so on. So like it's like a self FBI or something, or CIA. Yeah. But anyway, I think everyone is doing that with social media. You think, yeah. But Japanese people do it fast, and it's so weird. Sometimes it's off though. So not all the time, but the majority of the time, it's very fast, and it's true. So anyway, oh, 2 minutes to go, guys. Yokohama has a big Chinatown area, yeah. Oh, but Ameoko, do you know Ameoko? Ameyoko. How do you say that in English? Just Ameyoko? Ameyoko Shopping Street. Hmm. But yeah, there's a long street of market in Tokyo, and I have been there like 10 years ago. Just walked around with my friends, and I was like, okay, this is you, Ameyoko. Okay, I walked around. 10 years later, I went there with my husband recently, and like last year or so, and I saw lots of like a pig's head or something, or chopped off legs and so on of pigs, and like it was just brutal, right? Like lots of animal stuff, and it was very, to my eyes, it was kind of atrocious. I'm used to seeing fish, butchered, like cut off, you know, but not pigs or any other animals or birds or whatever. Like it's different, right? And so I was shocked, and I realized that there are lots of like Chinese stores now. So I felt like it's getting more and more affected, or what's the word, like invaded. So scary. But Chinese foods are good though. I have to give you that. But more than Chinese food, you get tired of Chinese food. I really love Uyghur foods. Have you ever tasted Uyghur foods? Uyghur, as in East Turkestan, that is colonized by China. They have beautiful, amazing, delicious foods. I love that the most, I think, among other things. But Tibetan foods, Southern Mongolia is good. All the, sheep or mutton, I would say. Mutton and ram, so good. We don't have that here. But I learned though through Tibet, supporting Tibet, Uyghur, and Southern Mongolia. I learned that it's actually Japan is the one of the minorities that are not consuming muttons and rams. So yeah, I didn't know that. It's really good. But see, like it's just a food, But when even just to look at foods, you can't enjoy them because China is colonizing the beautiful countries. Seriously, it's really bad that China, they not only colonize, they extinguish, like they erase the culture, other cultures and religious beliefs, right? So they seriously, um, you know, they destroy all the wonderful things that their people have created. Such a loss for humanity. Hmm. Citizen arrest, yeah, but in cyberspace. Yes, yes, yes. I don't like that move though, to be honest, but it's just reflects how Japanese people are. That whenever we see wrong people, we are like, ah, yes. So we are all warriors at heart, even though we are usually, when you talk to Japanese people in like face to face, they don't have any emotion expressed on their face. They have a straight face and they nod. That's all. But inside we are like, so you know. You gotta be careful when you talk to Japanese people. just be just because some Japanese that you are talking to is quiet doesn't mean that he or she is at peace inside. So mm. It's I hear that Japanese people are very active on X, and it's probably because we don't say out loud, face to face. We're totally opposite from Americans. Americans are open. You are the professionals at communication. You know how to verbally express your feelings and what's going on and so on. Japanese people are the opposite. We don't say anything face to face. We sense, just watch and sense, right? Like we have the sixth sense. And then whenever we still have some kind of frustration, we go to X and write it out and share. So that's our culture. Anyway. メサソネ。おはよう。おはよう。My husband's favorite is oxtail soup. Oh, here in Hawaii at our local Zippy's restaurant. Cool. I don't think I've ever had that. That's how animals become food. Yeah, I know. But it's just the visual. You don't do that. Like usually when we Japanese people, sell our seafood, for example, we pack everything beautifully, and also make sure that dust or anything can, like we make sure that they don't come in, it's very hygienic. But Chinese people, they just purge and then just put it outside. I mean, I bet that they are doing something, maybe it's kind of dry or something, but it's so different. I am honest, I don't care about Uyghurs. We have many here. A lot of Islamists don't interrupt if two enemies are fighting. I understand where you're coming from. Yeah. But because of that, you have to help them, take their land back to their hands. That wouldn't be happening if China was colonizing Uyghurs, If East Turkestan can become independent, then people will go back, the majority will go back and fight for their leadership. So there might be more struggles there, but that becomes their domestic politics, and it's way better. Like there's gonna be another Islamic country, but Uyghur people, at least, they're not as religious as, for example, like Middle Eastern fundamentalists. You can't even compare. So much different. Same for, like, for example, if you look at Indonesia, people are nice, but they're Muslims, right? But it's different. Like Asian or Eurasian Muslims are different from fundamentalists most of the time. But because they go through difficult times, they sometimes join in the Islamic State or some sort. It can happen. So, yeah. Uyghurs drink alcohol to begin with. They love alcohol. Yeah, not all of them. Some are strict, but no, like we know them very well. They live here too, so we know them very well. So, like, I don't know, like they have their belief, but when it comes to daily life, they're the same as us. So you have to read the air in Japan. Exactly. Yeah. You never know what they're thinking. They say stuff beyond you, behind your back. Yeah. Yep. Japanese people. You should always assume that somebody is, saying bad things about you behind your back. It just happens. It's just natural. But I'm aging more and more each day, right? And it's so weird that recently, like the past month or so, like my telepathic ability has sharpened. Like I have more telepathic power now. It's crazy. Like I've always had it a little bit, but it's happening way too often now. So it's so cool, but kind of scary at the same time. They don't like confrontation. Yeah, Japanese people don't like confrontation. So that actually becomes a problem in politics. For example, our government, has apologized many times for South Korea and so on, for the war crimes, right? But it's because even though we know that, like when it comes to, for example, a comfort women issue, we know that it was not done on a governmental level, and also like we didn't order to kidnap those ladies, right? But South Koreans, like activists, they will say like, "Oh, Japan's bad, 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 bad." So we're like, okay, let's apologize so that our relation between Japan and South Korea would be would work more smoothly. So that was the idea. We apologized. It made things worse. Internationally, you are not supposed to apologize because it sends the wrong message to your opponents and to the world. But Japanese people, we don't have that sense of culture. So yeah. We don't like confrontation, so we always apologize first, like, oh, すみません, ごめんなさい. Yeah. To Japanese people, it works, but to foreigners, it doesn't work. So that was a huge lesson to learn for us Japanese. Mm. Yep, yep, yep. Anyway, I gotta go. Psychic Kyoko. Yeah. Never apologize to the mob, yeah. I know. That's something that we have learned over the decades. Thank you so much, guys. I think I should go. Yes. Thank you for tuning in. I know that it's late for majority of you. Thank you. And thank you for the super chat to Tony Girl. Okay. Thank you, Yoko and Noisy Hide. Yes. I guess he's hungry and making eggs or something. Yep. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna go now. Sorry, I didn't have much information today, but it's just that we don't see much news. So, but next time, next time will be gubernatorial election day, maybe. We'll see. Time to walk the hobby. Yes. Thank you. Nice to catch up. Thank you. Have a great day or night. Okay. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really enjoyed talking to you and appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. Let's talk to each other again next week. Okay. Okay. Bye. See ya.